Sports, I'm Ernie Johnson, and it is my pleasure to be with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll see the Los Angeles Lakers playing against the Chicago Bulls in their house, United Center. For Chicago, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. It is clear now that the Lakers are going to have to start the rebuilding process. Some nice players to build around already, but how long do you think it'll be, Kenny, until we see the Lakers as a title contender again?
Wow, title contender? Whew. Who knows? It really depends on how these young stars develop and how quickly they do it. But they have talent at every position. But the West is the toughest league to be in when you're young.
And with the new salary cap coming and Kobe's contract coming off the books, soon they'll have a ton of money to spend on free agents. I might have to come back. Take my jersey out the banners, baby.
Might as well keep Kobe.
Are either of you guys going to answer the question? When will they be a title contender again?
Soon.
Can you be more vague?
Sooner than you think?
Later than I know.
All I know is it's time to go to Kevin Harlan with the call.
The Bulls play before the hometown crowd, and we've got it live for you right here from Chicago. Well, it was the Chicago Bulls winning their last game against the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, the confidence just exuding in that performance on the offensive end. I mean, really illustrates how this team clicks when guys are communicating and executing as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, roadkill is hard to get in this league. I mean, to be a great NBA team, you've got to be able to have that kind of performance on the road. Focused, purposeful, and productive. Really solid.
And now the Lakers starting group. Brandon Bass is out there with Young. Then it's Roy Hibbert. Then there's Lewis Williams. And it's Russell in at the one spot.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
And who has been a greater enigma than Roy Hibbert, a guy who can look like an all-star Clark one game and an undrafted free agent the next?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing the kind of swings Roy has had. He's been really good at times. Sometimes he gets in his own way with overthinking things, but I think he's got everything he needs to be an upper-tier center, upper echelon center. Just has lacked consistency the last year or two.
Now, here is Russell, following the miss by Derrick Rose. Russell with it. Butler covering. Bass with a screen for Russell. Nobody near Williams. The second effort, and again, it's Roy Hibbert. Hibbert's got 5.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Now here's Noah. He had 10 points in the win against the Kings in Sacramento.
Yeah, but he was the ultimate two-way player. Defensively, also doing a great job. A couple blocks in that game as well.
And here's Young, following the three-pointer by Doug McDermott. And it's Hibbert missing. Outside Butler. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Russell dishes to Young. Outside Williams. Rejected by Gasol. They retain possession. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Here's McDermott. It's stolen by Bass. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Here's Williams. Cans the 12-footer.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Kicks it to McDermott. From downtown, his second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
The defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. To the middle, it's tipped. Gasol with the steal. All alone, and he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Rose kicks to McDermott, back to Rose. From downtown, but they'll get another chance. Back to Butler. He dishes it to Noah. Second chance shot. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
And no doubt the Lakers had some defensive issues last season. I mean, no true center on that roster. And at times, they were just feasted upon on the inside.
Now here's Williams. Really had troubles in the loss to Sacramento. Young passes to Russell. From deep. And he gets it to go. Russell's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. For Chicago, they've gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. Lakers did have problems defending inside, Greg. You're right, both on drives, Clark, and on post-ups.
Yeah, you know, they were second to last in the league in field goal percentage at their own rim. And rim protection is more than just blocking shots. They got a lot of blocks as a team, but anything they didn't block went in.
There may be some questions for a while about D'Angelo Russell. People will guess which position he's best at in the NBA. You and I saw him firsthand playing for the Bucks. I mean, he is a terrific talent.
Yeah, he really is. I think he's an old school guard, Kevin. He can play with the ball and be effective, or he can play off the ball. He's got a really bright future. Loved watching him play and grow as a one-year college guy at Ohio State.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Tarek Black, he's checked in for Hibbert. Julius Randle comes in for Brandon Bass. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Williams.
And guys, one thing that stands out to me about Russell is how good he is at certain NBA plays. Very strong in the pick and roll already. Knows how to attack with contact. Great vision, and he can also shoot the basketball.
And here's Clarkson following the three-pointer by Derrick Rose. And that one's good.
I like it. I like it. He broke out the fancy finish there.
And you can say this just about every prospect, but I think with Russell, he'll need some time to adjust. He has the raw skill to play multiple spots on the floor, but each position has a nuance to it that he'll need some time to learn.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Byron Scott.
He said that their defensive focus, no surprise, will be trying to keep Derrick Rose out of the lane. He added, you know he's come a long way as an outside shooter, but he's a pick-your-poison type of player. We can't let him get into the paint. Makes sense, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Looking at Los Angeles, they want to turn it around after the loss to Sacramento. And that one's good. Rose has got 5. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game, just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Here's Butler after D'Angelo Russell's bucket. Gasol attacking. That one goes. Count. Gasol's got his second bucket.
And both teams on fire from the opening tip.
Well, I don't doubt it, Greg. We're going to have an entertaining game of basketball here today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that's the case.
They set the pick. Russell dishes to Black. The feed now to Clarkson. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
It's tipped and stolen by Russell. Passes it to Black. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Lets it go from 11. Nice D from Russell.
And a lot of teams are looking for coaches that embrace analytics and look at data-driven approaches. Coach Scott is not one of those guys. He's an old-school coach who goes with his own perception.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. It's a 5-point game. And this matchup with the Lakers, it's their first meeting of the season.
And going back a season ago, it was a win for both sides in their 2 meetings.
And even though one side played postseason basketball and the other stayed at home, you wouldn't have known it in their matchups.
Kept alive. Pass to Rose. Outside Butler. In the corner, it's McDermott. It's up a 3. Rose, no good.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
The pass to Clarkson. Here's Russell. He had a 30-point outing their last game against Sacramento.
And what I enjoyed when watching that game was the way he balanced getting his shot and also incorporating his teammates.
And that one's good by Butler. 1:03 left here in the first quarter. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
Talking about Pau and brother Mark, both of them were excellent last season. The difference is that Pau has always been considered a great prospect, so did the Bulls getting the bucket. Baseline J on the way, and he recovers it.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
Bulls shooting their first free throws here for the night. First free throw is good. Los Angeles making a switch here.
That's his first personal foul. Joakim Noah at the line for the Bulls. 2 shots.
No good on the second free throw. It's tipped. McDermott, no one around him, on the money with the open jumper. McDermott's got 8 points.
Tell you what, he's 3 or 4 now. Looks like his game's on offensively.
Kelly kicks to Brown. From past the arc. The shot by Clarkson, no good. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Los Angeles on top. They're up by 1. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity of this Chicago Bulls team.
I feel like we're the hungriest team in the NBA. That's a great feeling to be able to say that. Like, whether we shoot the ball well or don't shoot the ball well, win or lose, we know that we're going out there every night, giving everything we got with no regrets.
You know, I think Joakim can certainly make a case, Clark, for Chicago being that famished 5, especially with Rose back on the court.
There's no doubting that, Kevin. I mean, even the addition of Gasol with his 2 rings, the way he left things in L.A., that left him with an appetite that has him still hustling.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
Rose is the 1 with Butler is the 2. Noah is out there with Mirotic, and it's McDermott in at the 3 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
Now here's McDermott. In the game against Sacramento, very impressive.
You know what? That was good defensive effort. But on a shooter like him, sometimes it just isn't enough.
Clarkson passes to Kelly. Williams inside, defended by Butler. Williams dishes to Kelly. Just 5 to shoot. The shot by Clarkson, no good.
Tough to hit that shot when the D is all over you like that. And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls, Clark, had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, two-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Mirotic. The Lakers also changing it up. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Sacre. Pass comes in for Ryan Kelly. Young is subbed in for Brown. And the shot is good. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game, how it's been going for the Bulls.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spots. They've really closed out well and forced them to put the basketball on the floor.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
And Gibson wide open. He shoots. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Great outside shooting fueling this run.
Then the D is getting bombarded. They haven't been able to slow them down the least bit.
Here's Hibbert. Noah with the block. They recover it. Young with the steal. To the inside. Here's Clarkson. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
The Bulls making a switch here. Gasol's checked in. Los Angeles shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here. The Lakers weren't very good at all last season, Clark, and they just didn't have any teeth in their road games.
Well, you know, they shot threes on the road well, Kevin. Top percentage in the league, as a matter of fact. Still, they just couldn't hold on to leads.
Rose, that's good.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Now here's Williams. From the low block. Here's pass. Got a hand on it, but they get it back. The open shot, Williams, and again, no good by the Lakers.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
And the basket good.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Now, here's Clarkson. He's got 10. Outside Williams. Lock at 6. With the shot. And it's Williams again missing.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
And there's the call on Lewis Williams. That's foul number 2 for him.
He's jammed himself up a little bit here with that second foul. But as long as he can avoid a third before the half, I think he's fine.
Sanders checked in for Chicago. Dunleavy comes in for McDermott. And the Lakers also making a switch. Randall's checked in. There's Rose with the 3. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. 15 points for Rose.
Pace here from three-point range. Made one in the first, 2 more here in the second. It seems like with more to come.
Williams a screen. Will it go? And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up. And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
Chicago calls timeout. And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clarkie can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team.
With some changes. Torrek Black comes in for Roy Hibbert, and it's Russell in for Clarkson. And Chicago has possession. They've got the Wizards ahead of them for the next game. It's in Washington. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. And there's the defensive 3-second call. The Bulls have split their free throws right down the middle so far. They're 2 for 2.
At the line for the Bulls. One shot.
One shot. One shot.
And the technical free throw, missing that time. They'll retain possession here, however.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on and on, yet he's made it and made it big. Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
One shot. One shot, gentlemen.
And that one misses. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season. Won the Most Improved Player of the Year award. Really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
And the Lakers with possession here. The Bulls knocking down the 3. Black kicks to Young. Takes it off the glass. Young's got his first 2 points of the night.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
The Bulls leading by 10. Rose passes to Dunleavy. Back to Rose. Butler from outside. Black grabs the board. Lakers shooting 38% in the second quarter. Offensively, they look a little bit confused. Rose against Williams. Outside, Russell. And the 3 off target. For Chicago, they've gone 8 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. Really flowing here. And he gets it to go.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the 3-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
Here's Black. Picked by Williams. Black dishes to Russell. Launches a 3. Again, Russell missing.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter. I like his tenacity getting to the basket there, even though the dunk rattled out. 99 times out of 100, you'll get the dunk or the foul.
And again, no good by the Lakers.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
Rose kicks to Dunleavy. Outside Butler. Rose a screen on Russell. Here's Butler, 5 to shoot. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Butler's got 5 points now in the quarter.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
And the Lakers call time here. You gotta like what Derrick Rose has done in this game.
He's definitely rolling offensively. You might not be able to stop him, but you've got to find a way to contain him.
Joakim Noah's checked in for the Bulls. McDermott comes in for Dunleavy. And then for Los Angeles, Sacre is checked in for Tarek Black. Ryan Kelly comes in for Nick Young. And it's Brown in for Lou Williams. Lakers trail by 50.
The entire team struggled.
Roof shots. Roof shots.
That free throw good from Brown.
Here in the second quarter, they've made all of their shots from the foul line. And that's a must-do when you're down.
Good on both. Chicago leading by 11. Butler passes to Rose. Back to Butler. Unloads from 13. Off the left rim and out.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly, eventually pulled it together, and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Now here's Randall. 9-point game his last outing. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Randall's got 4 points this quarter.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Yeah, I mean, test the hot hand. You're exactly right. I say let those triples fly.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Brown wide open, he fires. And the 3 off target. And so that's the end of the first half. Bulls lead by 13. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Gentlemen, I'm here with Roy Hibbert. And Roy, what do you think the team needs to do coming up in the second half?
I think we need to take care of the ball on the offensive end, get back, but you got to do a better job of just controlling the pace of the game. You know, you give a little bit of leeway, but I think we do a better job in that aspect.
Roy, as always, we appreciate the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Derrick Rose taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 15 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. He put last game's performance behind him, doing some nice work in the opening period tonight. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls? And over to Kenny, your takeaway on the Lakers.
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. A fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
The way he was able to attack the rim in that first half, defenders are going to need to start building walls and being connected defensively if they want to have any chance to stop him.
Now, come on, Greg. That's much easier said than done when he's the penetrator. I mean, his speed and agility make him extremely tough to cover.
The Bulls leading by 13, taking a look at Los Angeles. We've got Williams. Young is out there with Brandon Bass. Then it's Roy Hibbert, and it's Russell in at the point.
And, you know, for Brandon Bass, such a big asset to Boston last year, and they're pushed to make the playoffs, especially after the Celtics had traded away several key veterans. His toughness, his strong mid-range game, that all helped.
Now here's Williams. Jimmy Butler unable to get his last shot to go, and that one's good. And 11 points for Roy Hibbert.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
Russell against Brooks. Here's McDermott, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. 15 points for Doug McDermott. And going back to Brandon Bass, he was Boston's only enforcer down low once Sullinger went out with the broken foot. At that point, Greg, no one thought the Celtics would make the playoffs, but Bass helped push them in.
And last season, one of the most meaningful in Bass's career in terms of his contributions really counting toward the bottom line. A lifetime role player, the outcomes of many games last year were swayed by how well he performed. And guys, it looked like Nick Young had finally put it all together. I mean, he had a huge campaign 2 years ago, signs the new 4-year deal. Then last year, disaster strikes. I mean, he provided very little to the team outside of shooting the basketball. And even with that, he dropped to a career worst, 37% from the field.
Well, Greg, getting back to Young, it's tough to completely judge him on last year's numbers because he was fighting through knee injuries, ankle injuries, all kinds of things. Clark only played 42 games.
Yeah, but when he's right, he can light it up. I mean, he's a go-to scorer, but he just never got right last season.
Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Chicago. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Lakers trail by 13. Russell kicks to Williams. To the paint. Here's Hibbert, and the layup falls. Hibbert's got 13 points.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
Butler goes in.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Los Angeles calls timeout. And last year, not exactly up to Noah's lofty standards. He's way down in field goal percentage and free throw percentages compared to the season before, but he did not play.
And you could just see him laboring at times on the floor, clearly affected by those injuries.
Changes for Chicago. Gasol comes in for Mirotic, and it's Rose in for Kirk Heinrich. Lakers trail by 13.
And, you know, going back to Noah last season, I think the additions to the Bulls front court had an effect on him. I mean, they added Gasol and Mirotic, two major talents up front. I think that gave Noah less opportunities than he'd had the year before, and it was an adjustment for him.
To the paint. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And guys, talking about Joakim Noah, he was still the spirit of that team last season. Amongst all the great talents the Bulls had, Noah was that energizer and catalyst for the team, a true warrior, even in an off year.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Now here's Rose, following the shot by Roy Hibbert. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. It's Young on the wing. Bass with the screen. Williams attacking. Good. Williams has got his second basket of the game.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Kept alive. Outside for Gasol. And the Bulls with another miss. Lakers trail by 11. Outside Russell. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Russell's got his third basket of the night.
And, you know, back to D. Rose, he grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Lakers have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second half. Tremendous efficiency. And Young kicks to Bass. The dish to Russell. Launches it. Again, Russell missing. The Bulls leading by 11. Butler goes in. Rejected by Young. Outside Williams. Cans it from downtown. Williams has got 5 points now this quarter.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
On occasions last year, the Lakers were all right on offense. Other times, they were just stagnant. There was just no motion, nothing going on.
That's a great point. And their ball movement could use some work. A lot of ISOs last season, and it killed a lot of the flow the team had in the half court.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Tarek Black, he's checked in for Hibbert. And it's Clarkson in for Williams. Right wing. Young in the corner. Pass to Clarkson. Six to shoot. Back to Young. From the arc. Rebound by Butler. Butler's got 4 rebounds in this game.
You know, for the Lakers, they were okay in the assist department, guys, but they were dead last in the league in secondary assists. That, to me, is indicative of an inefficient offense and also a new stat category. Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
And the Lakers with possession here. The Bulls getting the bucket. And it will go, and the Bulls' lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from pass.
And for the Lakers and that secondary assist stat, that just means they aren't making the extra pass, or it means they are holding on to the ball too long. Either way, it hurts the offense.
Here's Clarkson following the score by Derrick Rose. Knocked away. Stolen by Rose. And here we go. Here's Butler. Whoa! Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say there are a lot of questions right now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
Here's Young. The Bulls getting the bucket. Knocks down the 3-ball. Young's got 7 points.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Those 3-point bombs will erase the deficit quickly if they can keep it up.
And he gets it to go.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
And the Lakers call time here. Bulls had a good year against the West last season, 17 up, 13 down against the Western Conference.
Yeah, and how about playing 500 or better against every division in the Western Conference? So impressive to think they did so well given how many games some of their starting players missed.
Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Gentlemen, Byron Scott had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Randall. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Clearly some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Bulls?
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Now, here's Clarkson after the miss from Doug McDermott. And again, no good by the Lakers.
The clear look at the hoop, he doesn't miss many of those.
And finished off by Gasol.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Lakers trail by 16. Here's Russell. And he jams it with authority.
And Kevin, that's a little taste of what can happen when the big guy takes it up strong.
Well, I guess he does have it in him then to get up off the ground when he needs to and rock it to the rim.
Yeah, you know, guys, he's never going to elevate that high, but he compensates and makes up for it with his height.
Feeds it to Clarkson. There's 31 seconds left here in the third quarter. Brown dishes to Randall. 5 on the clock. Here's Clarkson. Sinks the triple. Clarkson's got 13. Outside Rose. Dishes it to Butler. And he gets the bucket. Butler's got 19 points.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Bulls out front, up by 15. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting.
On your face for no good reason at all. We in a bad place. Hip hop is separated by the nice and the nice not. Underground and I'm ice hot. What rap my age to keep the mic hot?
Lakers trail by 15. The big men are Gibson and Noah. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. And it's Mirotic in at the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Now here's Williams. Just 5 to shoot. Hibbert with the screen. Williams with the ball. Butler covering. Williams' shot is off.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Brandon Bass is checked in for Los Angeles. Lakers trail by 15. Clarkson kicks to Williams. They set the pick. He feeds it to Kelly. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Williams has got his 3rd assist on the night.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Man, that is a missed opportunity right there.
And he'll be the first to tell you, Greg, that's one he should have knocked down.
Now, here's Clarkson. Not a lot of room. Chicago grabs the miss. At one point, they led by 16. For the finish.
Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Have build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
That was a Kodak moment right there. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
And the Lakers have possession. The Bulls getting the bucket. A shot by Kelly, no good. Butler attacking. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Here's the break. Launches a 3. Good on the shot. Butler's got 24.
It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
Clarkson kicks to Hibbert. They set the pick. Outside Williams. Clock at 4. Steps back and fires. The shot is off. Some solid defense from Butler. The Bulls leading by 17. Over in the corner, Rose. The good-looking shot from the wing. 25 points in the game.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
Williams kicks to Hibbert. Clarkson with the ball. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. And again, the Lakers no good.
You got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
Now here's Rose. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And the big lead becomes bigger. They are playing with purpose here tonight, guys.
And they're doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, that's what you like to see. They've been controlling the action from both ends of the court.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And you know, the new court projection visuals, all the rage in the NBA now. Instead of having to use a screen over the court, they just project video and images straight onto the court. I think before long, you'll see it everywhere.
Those court projections you see in the pregame, we don't even have the best angle for them. They're so good.
Yeah, nice perk for those sitting a little higher up on those or those watching TV. It's about putting on a show and at the end of the day, entertaining the fans.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Sanders checked in for Noah. Dunleavy comes in for Taj Gibson. Tony Snell's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Heinrich in for Rose. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Well, what a season it was for Mirotic last year. Came on stronger for the Chicago Bulls. Continued to improve, effective in the playoffs. Really a joy to watch in his first year.
And interesting, so much hype going into the season was about Dougie McDermott.
Yes.
And whether or not he was going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. It ended up being Mirotic. Most years, he could have walked away with that award. Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
Heinrich outside. He kicks to Dunleavy. Now here's Sanders. A rebound by the Lakers. Hibbert's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
For Mirotic, he was most valuable late in games, guys. From March on, he led the league in fourth quarter points per game. Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Chicago leading by 15. Here's Heinrich. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
So for the Bulls, Pau Gasol, he's checked in for Mirotic. And McDermott subbed in for Mike Dunleavy. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Russell, he's checked in for Ryan Kelly. Lakers trail by 15. Outside, Russell. Kicks to Williams. The 3. The shot is off, so the Bulls will take it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 21.
And for that note about Mirotic, in the fourth, he outscored LeBron and Westbrook that month. That's impressive for any player, much less a rookie.
Here's Heinrich. And again, no good by Chicago. Los Angeles has gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Count the bucket. Young's got 10 points here in the second half.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Lakers trail by 14. Los Angeles calls timeout.
And guys, Kirk Heinrich, a steady, reliable point guard, but not last season. Something went severely wrong with his shot to the point where he suffered career low shooting percentages from the field and from three-point.
Doris Burke has an update from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Byron Scott coaching his team during the break. He got after them and told them to turn up the intensity, saying, "We've put ourselves in a corner, and now we've got to fight our way out. Show me what you have. Let's see if we've got what it takes, guys."
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Sanders. Butler comes in for Tony Snell. And it's Rose in for Kirk Heinrich. Talking about Heinrich, the one thing you expect from him is consistency. But when he couldn't provide it last year, the team turned to a different backup point guard.
Exactly right, Kevin. Heinrich couldn't have felt good about becoming a third stringer, averaging the fewest minutes per game of his career last season.
It's really been a tale of two halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
Here's Rose. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Now, here is Young. On the wing, Williams. Bass with a screen for Williams. 6 on the shot clock. Bass with a screen for Williams, and it doesn't even draw iron. And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Bulls.
A beautiful pass doesn't always get you on the highlight reels, Clark, but there were some spectacular dishes in this game.
Yeah, it was a team that was really in sync. They trusted each other and took the right shots.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Derrick Rose. He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team. Didn't take their time in wrapping this game up. They came out with a sense of urgency.
Nice ending spurt to polish it off. Once they had him on the ropes, they started throwing haymakers at him.
The whole knockout blow. They clearly look like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got some energy out on the floor.
Yeah, but it's come a little too late to have a real impact on the game, though. We call this box score window dressing. All it's going to do is make the numbers look a little better than it was.
Gasol kept alive. Here's Noah, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
Well, they're going to walk out of here with a win and send this crowd home happy.
Yeah, you know, it was a real solid performance for them in a lot of areas. I mean, they should be proud of their work tonight.
First personal foul. Now into the lineup for the Lakers. Sacre. Black. Kelly. Brown.
Here's Kelly. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Pal, congratulations on the win. Tell us about the approach that the team took tonight in maximizing its effectiveness on the offensive end.
I think we just concentrate and we work hard until the last second of every possession, and I think that's something that we want to continue to do and be consistent with. And you know, we're happy that today we were able to fight through everything and then still come out with a great win.
Congratulations, Pal. Thanks for the time. Guys?
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our entire 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now we'll send it up to the award-winning Ernie Johnson, who is standing by for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Derrick Rose.
Ernie, that is the definition of domination. He took them to school tonight in every possible way. I know there's 10 players on the court, but I only noticed one.
We saw Rose explode tonight. His dual threat ability, being able to score or pass equally well, man, that puts him on another level.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.